divisions, 2-2, 1-1, so on and so forth, but it all roads
as well. But yes, once again, from our calendar's point of view, Southeast Asia Division, yes.
Yes, and what you see in front of your screen is the prize. Talk me through the bracket right now, Kuro.
Okay, today will be the most, not NNU, sorry, two Southeast Asia representatives, fighting.
All you guys, shout outs to each and every one of you, but we gotta talk about the matchup, Kuro.
You see from FT Survivor side, right? Adi, Kuga, Mini Blue, Shadow, there's two. So like, with this type of team comp up against GH, as you can see.
The map selection already, it's gonna be at Chinatown. What are the win cons here?
Really deciding to lock it in here. Potentially speaking, we want to save Goatman.
Spawn top left here around Adi, Mini Blue, and Kuga. And shoutouts.
Will we bring audience effect here with momoka going instant attention? Wish
T versus GH. Let your voices be heard, chat. This is not the finals. This is just to qualify for the finals of this day. Momoka on this Cueist. We talked about this before, Kuro. Audience effect, right? He really needs to be able to get his chase going before the Cypher rush continues.
Yeah, but we see here as well, it seems like Momoka's just going to take it a little bit more chill on the early game. We have seen a lot of this during the games as well with Cueist, where a lot of the early game is more focused on map control rather than getting that first down. We want to wait until Blink is ready before we get the hit, as Kuga here instant next chase. Nice vault over, as he does have knee-jerk reflex to pull away from the first cue ball.
Okay, and like you said, he is a very territorial hunter, just wants to make sure he knows the lay of the land here, and he's just dropping down his cue balls just to see who is the best possible chase, forcing out a pocket watch already, and it just seems like, yeah, the survivors are pretty spread out. He's controlling that center side of this map. Will he actually commit to Adi's chase? It seems like he will be.
60 stacks instantly there. We're just going to take the laceration straight to the face here, it seems. But what I really like about what Momoka has done here is two Cypher machines locked, and then finally, when Blink is ready, going after Adi. If we can do a nice follow-up Blink here and instant cue ball capture, I'd say Momoka's downtime would be quite significantly fast, especially for a Cueist as well.
Wow, just able to jiggle peek that corner, and just like that, just making sure he's going to establish that distance. Forced to go into cue ball form. Let's see what Adi's route is going to be. Pre-drop that pallet will do, but Blink is already going to be in effect, as you called it. Let's see if that capture will be in effect. Okay,
here comes Momoka once again. We did not actually close the connection there just yet, as we still do have one more ball an hour left in our hands to use. Momoka trying to dodge a very beautiful dodger, as Adi will be forced down. However, one Cypher machine is done. Meanwhile, the other two at 50% progress. We're currently 2 out of 8 cue balls here, but I do think we can lock their Cypher machines one more time. Seems like Kua and Mimi Blue Cypher machine might just be pushed back here yet again.
Yeah, kind of a checkmate scenario there on ID's side, but a beautiful kite nonetheless. It was just really that sidestep that changed things. I believe they had a captured cue ball towards the end there, but Momoka just a step ahead. So now the rescue attempt by Mini Blue, just going to take a regular hit. Now let's see the route he's going to take. Momoka still has to be able to secure his first survivor down, and that's going to be Adi.
Oh, we do have cue ball there ready, but Adi's just gonna vault down here just in case we decide to cue ball capture. Here we go. That's the first one, but unfortunately speaking, will not land. We don't have Blink here left to use anymore, but tries to go for the capture, but it just was a tiny bit off. And right now, 90-something stacks. Can we get hit? Wow. We didn't. Just about enough here with 100 stacks of laceration. Adi barely survives that onslaught.
Yeah, so still trying to kite as long as he can, but has to just rely on real estate, Kuro. So might be a bit tough here, but Cypher's looking quite healthy considering that Momoka has been attacking the Cyphers along with the chase, and we're going to get the hit through the window.
At least the good news here is Momoka, still the survivors are missing one Cypher machine here, right? You see as well, in the middle, there is that first officer and aeroplane is trying to rush down the very last Cypher, just so they can still, potentially speaking, guarantee a tie up against this hunter. But even so, playing 4 meta characters, especially in round 1, when they could be in bans in round 2 and round 3 onwards, getting a tie game is not what FT wants.
I'm just liking also how they knew that they were going to chase after the archer first, because they all have tide turners. Second tide turner spent. They still have one on the meteorologist side. We're going to get a capture, unfortunately, onto Adi's side. So good prediction on him. He was going to vault. Gets the last effort. We're going to buy a little more time, just moving Momoka away. But as we speak, the last Cypher is already in progress. But this is the death chair of Adi.
Yeah, we see dungeon here as well at this corner of the map. So it's corner dungeon here from the side of FT, which could be a potential corner dungeon jump if we do have a nicer setup. However, once again, you see survivors here. Both our officer and aeroplane is healing themselves as soon as we can, but we barely just started here, so we have to pick and choose between one. It seems like we decided to go for the arrow here first, but instead for Momoka, Cypher Lock matters way more as Shadow already rotates out.
Yeah, Shadow's gonna have to be the one to take this endgame kite here as they scramble to open up another backup Cypher. It's still zero, still, actually it's working already, but he was able to actually get a mini abnormal onto that Cypher, now down to 41. So this is the beauty of Cueist. He can keep attacking different Cyphers and just moving around a huge map like Chinatown.
We are able to spot out Kuga here. Kuga only one without borrowed time here on this team hub. However, hover ready, 2 jetpacks left on hand. Can this capture go through it?
Whoa.
It didn't. Nice reflection there from the side of our aeroplanist. But even so, here comes Alpha once again. We got the capture here on time and no jetpack left to use. As the other Cypher maybe at 63, but Blink is still ready for endgame. And the catch up here is going to be insanely fast.
Yeah, and you called it, right? That no borrowed time here. Blink down, that's all right, because they do have one tide turner on Shadow's side. So I'd say job well done on Kuga's side, just prolonging it, because this last Cypher is about to be primed, but Momoka can still attack these Cyphers.
Yeah, we see as well the cue ball here will kind of deplete in 11 seconds. So in around 10 to 11 seconds, we can push it back by another 30%. So this does buy time for Titanner to run out from the side of Momoka. However, the question is, do we realize which Cypher machine it is Momoka? We're currently looking at it right now, 4 out of 8 cue balls, but it just seems like we want to preserve it.
Yeah, it seems like just gonna try to force if anyone is gonna go for the rescue here. Bit of a defensive play, but Shadow is already on the case as they assistantly go for the Cypher push. Momoka is gonna try to prolong it, but now rescue is on. We do have Tighter in effect. He needs to move on away here, able to actually get the 99, but will they actually pop?
I'm not too sure whether or not Momoka locked that Cypher machine, but we did try to go for a wind push back here. Instant cue ball capture. Can we get it sometime? Kuga, what a capture. With no items left on hand to use, Kuga will go down as no one's at the exit gate. That's going to be a second chair here for our aeroplanist. But with only 2 out of 8 cue balls, there is still a chance that survivors can manage to get a tie. However, we're barely at the other exit gate, as we can see here. Oh, wait a second. Mini Blue coming in. It's instant elimination here. Can the cue ball come out, or are we okay? No, we're just pocket watching here instantly. Just one sort of a slight life source here for us, but then Shadow instant next chase.
Yeah, so just look at that. From coast to coast here, Momoka is going to try to patrol around this area, forcing out the pocket watch, able to actually block off that Cypher, getting a really big wind push here. Excellent by Shadow just to buy a little bit more time. But now this allows Mini Blue to go for the exit gate to open.
But I do think from Momoka's point of view, this is generally speaking the best case scenario. Winning with a Cueist, especially up against 4 meta characters, is insanely well done from his point of view here as well, right? Shadow's just trying to buy a tiny bit more time. Barely any items left here, as Mini Blue, yes, is able to get out, but this puts GH at such a great advantage. 4 meta characters gone instantly from round 1.
Yeah, considering the cards that they were...
If that aeroplane still was able to sit on chair, then our archer contained for 103 seconds overall, which is risk. But
so, oh gosh,
you need to think about it this way, right? It's exactly. But this spot location, come with attention, Wish Rage, Berserker, and of course.
Goatman wanting that smoke, squaring up against the archer. Hopefully he's able to get it, but no, it seems like going for meteorologist Godj. Again, he did bring that excitement. But let's see how long this is going to last, because Godj needs to contain for as long as he can for that Explorer to really come online. And guys, this is Godj we're talking about. Hunter Godj on a meteorologist.
But no one here actually having flywheel does start quite a lot. Push back here first, but we want to try break the cage, but unfortunately speaking, pushback just was not enough. Znian, the strategy is good. You want to chase after the one who was initially the last Hunter player of this team, but even so, can Godj preserve? This is a real good question here, as we won't be able to go past that area. We did manage to teleport over to his other side, and so much this is boss.
That was good. I was actually getting quite nervous. That first hit did register before the first 30 seconds of this game. We're going to force him to build that resentment, but GHIX still sticking to this area. Resentment is already online. Hopefully he can kite this one out. Already has another gust of wind here to try and push and propel him away.
Oh,
nice.
That was very close for comfort. I thought that would hit GHIX there. But we kind of will have to take the chip damage here. Wait, anyways, resentment ready. Sorry, excuse me. Didn't really see. Missed that first hit. Didn't want to drop it. GHIX. Such great reflexes. We bought a lot of time. And you can see 3 ciphers done. An Explorer, an additional 50% page.
Dude, I thought third time was the charm, but he dodged 2 out of the 3 swipes there. But 2 ciphers look like they're about to be finished up. But as we said, the Explorer in the map, no hunter can rest easy. And speaking of which, Skyfall already on the case, has the pocket watch, eats the hit, all good. But the resentment is already online. Let's see if he's gonna capture anyone. Skyfall able to hit another pocket watch before we do see that a meteorologist is already made to the second floor.
No greedy from the side of Skyfall here, it seems. But then once again, GHIX flying up. Can we actually manage to get down here? We did.
Wow.
Look how where GHIX is.
Yo,
we got out of range.
He did. So much distance. I don't know if he knows. Uh-oh, I think he might know. All right, he's on top here. And now he sees that GHIX actually in this staircase. Not going to work out quite well, but he can definitely go to that corner. Oh, we're going to go back here, and he's going to have to drag him all the way to the rocket chair, Kuro.
But look at this. Explorer is decoding another cipher machine right now. He has 50% page right. Hey, Archer. Ooh, unfortunate.
Yeah, and like you said,
excitement.
Yeah, excitement is here. Didn't force it out. Gets the chair. Skyfall back onto the possible rescue here. As we do see, Neru's trying to pressure that cipher. 2 ciphers are moving, but now let's see if Neru can kite and go for the rescue.
Waiting, mind games. We're trying to stack up this one as much as we can, but honestly speaking, Neru's rescue is good enough here. It's just meteorologist does not have any inside, but we are still outside of the cage for now. GHIX, very nicely done. No hit down. Wow! Look at this support. Once again, another backslash here from our side to use as well, trying to body block here as much as we can. But once again, the vault comes over as the chip damage comes through. But let's not forget, first officer cipher machine currently at 70%. It's so tight.
Oh my god. Neru now just waiting, trying to body block, but still unable to. We haven't forced out the excitement on Znian just yet. And Meteorologist dying to save for his life. Not gonna force it out just yet. Still has trump card. And it seems like the last cipher's already primed, Kuro.
Oh, wait a second. We could potentially speaking pop here. Wow. Officer already at the gate. We're going to be at the gate right now as we teleport over. Oh, nice instant down. We barely got that.
He did. So excellent stuff. But now you got to play out an endgame Goatman who has not swapped his trait just yet or used this trait at all. Little Boy is actually here just feeding a bit of tinnitus. And now it's the first officer that has to take this detention kite. He is going to rock that pocket watch. Znian might actually be stuck here. He does already use that teleport, and that exit gate is stuck at 40%. They're waiting for the right time to actually push for it.
110 stacks right now. GHIX. Oh, the sorry, not GHIX. Skyfall a bit unfortunate. We dropped down at the same time, but the other exit gate already at 60%, and ensure being a little bit further away. This should be enough for the survivors to fully get the gate open here. Currently at 90% right now. Can we get a double cages out here faster? First cage a little bit too slow, unfortunately speaking here, as the 2 survivors. What a beautiful tie game from the side of GHIX.
I know Chocho ain't here, the OT Queen ain't here, but me and Kurva are ready to also just contain for as long as he could to just provide that support by GHIX.
That's a good with that one. But with this, GH is kind of ran flywheel. Doesn't really matter as much. You have cheerleader spook boost out. You have arrow.
Want to chase after GHIX or Neru spawning right here, but GHIX we saw on GHIX's side. But we're gonna head towards the matchup.
Ladies and gentlemen, we start game 2 first half here instantly as Znian did decide to play it out with a patroller Cueist here. So we're going to go upstairs here first, but GHIX already has left the vicinity. Znian, don't know where GHIX is as we're heading towards Neru.
Yeah, look at the lower left side of the screen. He's already out of dodge. So now you're kind of forced to chase first stop Neru, and Neru definitely wants that smoke. GHIX, I mean, hiding is the best strategy. Neru has access here. He's gonna try to go for the... Oh, wow! Able to get the second push right on time.
Wow, that was quite scary there, because if we got that hit here, especially after the first failed jetpack, it would have been quite detrimental. But Patroller here being dropped down pretty early on as well. Neru, a very long Padawan game to play around with, but we will have to take the bite. But even so, I feel like from Znian's point of view, even if you do get the hit here and the cue ball capture, there is still a lot of items. And there you go, Neru already on his way out. We get the grab here, but it doesn't matter. Should be able to get on towards the tram on time. Znian did not get up. Oh no!
But it's alright, he's the Cueist. He's able to actually make those connections happen. He's gonna just play the mind game here, wait for the drop down to happen. Patroller Bite is no longer in effect, able to actually move on through, but now Jetpack, tries to go for the drop down here, but we already have the capture. Nice cutting out the real estate here, in Znian just downing Neru.
I think Neru got a bit greedy there with his final jetpack. Could have taken a hit and rotate back towards 2-story to prolong the containment, but even so, not that it matters here as much. You see Survivor's decoding progress as well. It is not 3 Cypher machines done here, so it allows Znian a really big room for containment with map control. But also at the same time, no audience effect from Survivors, so this is going to hurt them quite a lot.
Could be. So Skyfall trying to play the mind game, putting out smoke here just for him to go for that rescue. Gets that hit. We have the Tide Turner in effect. 2 Cyphers have already popped, one still at 83%. And like you said, Little Boy is going to try to cheer on Neru with no items.
Oh, Neru dodged that first one, but unfortunately speaking, still gets captured at the same time, but not matters here as much as he will finally go down with Cueist here at max present. But with 3 Cypher machines done, I do think it is kind of a road to tie game, unless GH kind of makes a mistake mid-game, because we see here, right, 2 Survivors without borrow time, except for that cheerleader.
That's true, and considering that this next rescue, if they're gonna go for it, it's gonna be a little tough with no Tide Turner and no items to work with. But we do have the escapologist here, just for him to actually move him outside the 2-story building here for Znian to camp outside for Little Boy to possibly pressure for a rescue. But Patroller's already on the ground here.
We did get a bite on towards the Little Boy, but if this is the case, we can instantly change targets then for Skyfall, as we do see Cheerleader so far away. Skyfall trying to hide away from this area, but let's not forget Blue Sticker on the ground, meaning that it's very easy for Znian to actually find him. Skyfall rotating towards GHIX. He's able to get towards such a great containment area, and even Patroller is gone. So the rebound kite, the second containment, should be quite easy for our Survivors.
Let's see here, able to drop that smoke. Let's see the mind games being played out as the last Cypher is already past the 10% mark. GH, Skyfall tried to make it towards that pallet, but unfortunately wasn't able to get there in time.
But I think it's okay, right? Because it is still Power Lady decoding the last Cypher machine with accelerated decoding. Not only that as well, Escapologist can share switch if he wants to, but I do think we want to save it just in case we get it towards the chair, as Znian going towards the Power Lady right now.
Okay, Fair Lady already in visible form here. It seems like Znian is going to commit. Note that 2 of the characters here do not have borrowed time, as you pointed out. So let's see how they're going to play out this end game, because Znian doing really well, just pressuring the Survivors for them not to focus on decoding.
Barely missed a hit there. We did manage to get a heal on towards Escapologist, so at least we have a lifeline here. This is the biggest issue when it comes to playing Cueist, right? It's the fact that you change target, but when they heal up, it's still 2 hits trying to get them down.
Wow.
Inertia, nice fall by Gaji. Ooh, not a Terror Shock, thankfully.
Yeah, the attack recovery was really quick here. Godjay now moving on to the other side here, because that cue ball capture was there. Forced out the cane just to make sure that he has this next kite going on. And like you pointed out, there is no borrowed time on Godjay's side, so he will be falling down. And there will be no Cypher Pop to help him out, but doing a good job, man. His jukes are on point ever since game 1.
Whoa, Godjay, the mind game king right now. We're still trying to play mind games up though against this area, but a charge attack hit will guarantee the down on Pharaoh. But you know what? Her invisibility was cancelled out there, and the other Cypher already at 70%. With Cheerleader coming into rescue for this one, we should at least guarantee a nice end game. But Znian being so close towards this gate as well. I do feel like if our... Oh, wait, we struggled? Huh? Wait, Coaster's upstairs?
Oh my god, you're right. No has a pallet. He's gonna try to get a boost. Oh my god, and he's gonna go to the Coaster to capture those. Znian able to pick up the pieces here. Gonna go for a charged up attack. But yeah, that was too close for comfort. Exegate is already being worked on the other side. And no teleport to work with, but let's see, it's gonna be a foot race towards that exit. But like you said, it might be a tied game here.
Wow, with Pharaoh Lady struggling free. That's a max struggle for our lady. When we try to bring it all the way over here, the other gate is open. And not only that as well, there comes the Escapologist already on his way out. Cheerleader cheering here for that additional movement speed boost for endgame as well, but it just seems like for Znian, not enough cue balls here to catch up. Yes, we might be able to link that, but GH, what a time!
Good exchanges there, but ultimately Nehru did fall early on. He was the only one with a significant containment time here, considering how fast the match went, and they won't have
just Acrobat overall jumping outside of Ostrakhan range.
Well, they're able to salvage certain situations, and we're gonna see that he
two of Southeast Asia COA qualifiers between FD versus GH.
Tournament point versus survival point here for GH versus FT. Momoka trying to get more than a tie, as well as the survivors trying to just change the tides of the situation here. It seems like Adi gonna get infected right away, and the chase continues past this bridge area towards the two-story.
Momoka's going to be looking towards that Phantom to Cypher Lock as much as we can here, but Adi's still having to be careful. He did get 61 stacks here, so this just means it allows Momoka to blink open an instant leech for our follow-up hit, which is most likely just going to be a 70-second containment.
That could be pretty rough on FT's side. We're going to get the ethereal form back online here as Adi tries to transition towards another area. Gets a bit of a spray, unable to get it. We're still stuck at 63%, so Adi doing an amazing job thus far.
Adi needs to focus on pulling out distance here because Blink is almost about to be ready, but Kuga at middle will not get locked here, thankfully speaking. But then once again, yes, it is a fireball being thrown out, but with Hunt, it shouldn't really matter too much for an Ivy who just needs to follow up on this catch-up. And of course, the very good Blink hit.
And like you called, still at 73% stack. It's going to be really tough if he's going to get a scare going on here. Can he actually stop the potential coast ride? No. Able to actually take a ticket to ride as Momoka repositions the main body towards second stop. Already chases back the ethereal form. Unable to actually come across here and has to drop down to just get that scare onto Adi.
Adi, oh, that's a nice dodge, but unfortunately speaking, still within the Ostrakhan range when you vaulted over that. But it is still a 100-second containment time, and we didn't really lock Cypher Machines that much. So from the side of FT, this does look like a guaranteed tie game as for the time being.
Yeah, this could switch any which way, either Hunter or Survivor's side. But excellent job on Adi's side, not interrupting any ciphers. Momoka had a hard time actually trying to get a lock on any of these ciphers, and they're slowly starting to pop already before he was able to get any scares onto that fire investigator. As we see Shadow already on the case here for the rescue.
Shadow does get locked here, but as long as we don't get Terror Shock, it's fine. We do see, ooh, nice instant no damage rescue as the hit does register on Cheerleader. We are max presence now, so just by bringing the ethereal form back, and as long as we teleport towards Acrobat here nicely, his rebound containment, I think, is going to be fully nullified.
Let's see, he's trying to just patrol around the area, taking the main body towards that corner area outside of 10th. Adi again knows he's the sacrificial lamb, just has to pull away from any ciphers that are decoding. So FT doing a great job here. Insolence is already taking to effect. We have full presence Ivy.
Okay, Adi's still holding on towards that ball. The moment we get Leisha teleport on, ooh, 69 stacks, just about enough. But we're trying to dodge this one, Adi. A bit unfortunate, a bit hard to dodge it as well. But even so, we've already started the last two Cypher Machines. And Mercenary, with that final last tie turner, I would say this should be enough to guarantee some wash of a, 3-man endgame with the Cypher Machines already being at 30% plus.
True. Excellent stuff so far on FT's side, just to push for that 3-man endgame. We're going to get a leech onto Shadow here at the 2-story area. Mini Blue is already pressuring for that rescue. And we're going to see if Momoka is going to try to multitask here just to be able to pressure a Cypher and also pressure this rescue from happening. He's just going to allow it to happen as he already allowed the rescue to happen. He still has the main body on the 2-story area, but we move on over here. Excellent jump on Adi's side.
But Adi, at least the good news with that ball jump is the fact that he is able to force out, our blink here. But once again, can we get the body block? What a nice body block from Mini Blue. And now with the last Cypher 40%, if Kuga and Cheerleader decodes it at the same time, we should be able to guarantee a 4-man endgame. FT doing a brilliant job with this containment.
Here's what we're talking about. FT really cooks towards game 2 and game 3, but now Adi trying to just make sure he buys enough time here, gets the 100% scare, able to get the hit just right at the tip. So my goodness, once he gets the chair, there's going to be a race towards that 2-story area.
Oh, but here comes the issue, Posh. Everyone's at that Cypher machine right now. They're really trying to rush it with no one currently now at the exit gate. Yes, Blink may have been forced open, but even so, Fire Investigator trying to get his airbag back here with Cheerleader being now nearby. Can't really leech on towards her because of that movement speed boost, but here we go. Teleport straight onto his Cheerleader, 55 stacks, and she's just going to pull away from the gate to guarantee the escape.
Okay, we see the ethereal form trying to patrol around this area, but yeah, Shadow, I mean, might have to be the one to kind of pull him away from this exit gate. Already still chasing both targets here. Kuga now able to actually put a balloon there just so we can transition away, and Cheerleader still sitting at 97% stack.
The nice news here is honestly momoka only needed a tie game for this round. So with GH still being at a advantage point here, as long as we just wait for our leash to be ready, we can leech on instant teleport on. Just so, oh wait, never mind. Cheerleader, 40 stacks, hold on, teleporting over. We don't have max presence here just there. We lost the stacks there. Was something I didn't expect. But even so, there we go. That's present, and it's a guaranteed tie.
Tied game in round number
tonight, still given towards GH. As long as GH survivors can keep it. We had support, but also at the same time too, I do feel
round start, but we're seeing it towards the end. More bans on the survivors and hunt.
Kind of a suicide hunter from my point of view. As we can see, our puppeteer at the entrance towards graveyard. Meanwhile, lanterns at bottom. Tension with wanted to order Berserker Mischievous alongside with Warp.
Do or die time for Team FT. Cannot afford to just tie. They need to win rounds and they need to put scores on the board here, as GH are the ones kind of just defending. So speaking of defending, Sukiyaki is going to try to defend as much as he can that center cipher, as Neru might be that first chase. It seems like Sukiyaki already saw the film tape here, and Neru is going to try to entice Sukiyaki to chase here on this side of the map, just to allow the other side to be open up.
But this is not good news here from the side of Sukiyaki then, because we're currently at the graveyard, as Pasha said. All other Cypher machine currently open, and not only that too, you get countered really hard by a lanterns at the same time here. We already pulled so much distance back towards the window, but the hit still registers true. Neru didn't bring it back.
Did not.
But warp here ready. Can we maybe warp here on time, or is Neru still trying to play mind games? It seems like Suki should be able to make it straight towards the other side, but the warp failed!
Oh my. Okay, so now it's about even here. Neru unfortunately couldn't take back the frame. Sukiyaki has spent the warp already. That pallet is going to get waxed off, but as the rotation is happening, ciphers are going uninterrupted here, and they could just rescue at their own time. Again, GH just needs to keep tying things out for them to get the victory here. So Sukiyaki needs to be able to down this lantern as quick.
And we do have another living frame ready on hand to use as well. It just seems like Neru should be able to maybe get a living frame out here, force the 100 stack, and then force the flywheel out here at the same time too. Here we can see it's a slow pallet breaking here on Sukiyaki. Not really the best, as Neru trying to rush right behind this area, but the wax is going down here one more time. Oh my lord. Currently being forced on a 100 stack potential. But even so, Neru trying to run towards the back. His wax is going to definitely deplete here as soon as we can. But then Sukiyaki just, so much distance pulled.
And look at that, the lineups. Unfortunately, the walls and the real estate are not working in the wax artist's favor, because Neru just cutting line of sight and just making sure that Sukiyaki stays on this area. And I'm sure, they popped the center cipher already. Gravekeeper's popped the cipher. He can make his way towards this rescue, and they're already working on their last cipher, Kuro.
This team just full counters wax are so hard. The flywheel from Neru, unfortunately speaking, will not come true. But look at our cipher progress. We're currently 4th cipher machine at 50, and the 5th one is already 30% in.
And look at that, Godjay is already positioned for the rescue here, so Sukiyaki can't really set any lineups in place. Little Boy probably is the closest one, but that leaves you vulnerable for a shared rescue here. So we already see Godjay already in the shovel form. See Little Boy trying to keep pushing that cipher, but he does get a little bit of wax, but right there, just a backdoor rescue. The frame is ready for the Lanternist to use. We do get a little bit of hit onto the Gravekeeper, but Lanternist is who we want to focus on.
I feel like Lanternist can just save her items here for endgame. We see as well she's using Living Frame on towards the Cypher Machine now at 58%, but that's okay. Cypher Machine should be primed here by the time Lanternist goes down. Nice switch on Neru as we're trying to play mind games. Teleport straight towards the Little Boy. Cypher Machine done on time! And the other first Cypher 88% right now. All survivors can just move on towards one side of the map. Living Frame use on the final Cypher machine. Oh, we're priming everything, everyone on the run. Sukiyaki is gonna see for a 4-man endgame.
Wow, and little boy has the borrowed time to work with as well for the push that last Cypher pop to happen. Neru's also here. Everyone is here, so we're back on to Neru. No, not quite. You have to be able to break this. And as they do that, Curl, 4-man endgame for GH.
Sukiyaki, barely 200 stacks of wax in her hands. That's not even enough to get 100 stacks, even if you line it up perfectly. Now at this side, other gate currently have 75%. Middle, it has dungeon. However, here comes the issue. Lantern is not at the other gate just yet, so we need to wait until Lantern is finishing up that Cypher machine too. GH has a huge chance of 4-man escaping here. Let's see whether or not little boy can make it towards the tram and potentially speaking flywheel out. That here comes the flywheel first. Is the tram? Is the tram moving? Oh, the tram is moving. Is there a chance?
Oh my god, and just like that, Sukiyaki, everyone's here. We're gonna try to see a Gravekeeper body block.
Sorry, it's just too far away. The tram helped out so much. And oh yeah.
Mage denies the second half from happening, and they're gonna be watch this next match because it's gonna be AR versus AL, and there are, I would say that one's Aeroplanist, right, in game number 2 that kind of fumbled a little bit with a gem mix. Really fair up against the hunters that we've seen before and the hunters that we're able to get the best deduction for the team.
I do think to bring the full potential of our hunter out, but I would say Aquarial, who's transitioned from hunter to survivor, PP Yuki, who is seeing
cement yourself in competitive Identity 5, but here in the Call of the
you know what, if you go after it, Enchanters first is like there's a chance.
Alpha Hell Ember, Kuro, what is happening?
I think we want the bench.
You do not adjust your screens, folks. This is a Hell Ember.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a Hell Ember on your screen, and yes, you are not dreaming, so you don't have to pinch yourself here just yet, as we are directing ourselves towards the officer. But I don't think this will be a guaranteed chase.
Yeah, I think maybe just force out a pocket watch and change your trajectory, but it seems like Ducks, again, in this area, you kind of have to just go one route. But yeah, first officer chase might not be the best. Meow is right there at the center. It seems like he might actually just keep on going until he goes for the pocket watch, and also gives a spirit here, a flame spirit here, just for the chase to be harder. But man, Duck's really gonna try to commit to the officer. Okay.
But we did miss that pocket watch for the second activation, so the third activation also misses at the same time. Blink is about to be ready soon. There is gonna be a normal hit here straight towards PP. That's not good as an opening, as Blink is upping 7 and our cooldown is 15 seconds with first presence open.
All we gotta do is just let him cook, guys. Able to actually close the distance a little bit, forced to actually go towards this area. Meow is here just to give a little bit of support. Again, able to get a little bit of stun at the start because of the changes, and now that pocket watch rock did actually come through, and Duck still chasing after this first officer.
It's not that bad as well, right? Because you do have 2 embers here to use for potentially speaking later on, but right now using that red ember, sadly, officer is just so far away, didn't get the last activation there, should be able to get the blink down, but you have no embers here to use for chair cam. I would say for Hellenberg, this is a huge disadvantage for him.
All good, but I mean, it's looking kind of solid on the side of the survivors when it comes to decoding here. They have 3 of their ciphers done. They also have tide turners to work with on the side of the magician and the puppeteer. It seems like the rotations are going to be in place already, but Ducks, I'd say solid start thus far.
Unfortunately, officer does not have any additional items, but once again, good news is he does sit on chair for 36 seconds for each rotation here as well. As we are going to be able to finish up the 3 cipher machines with blink here available left to use. Definitely no rebound containment will be available. However, I don't think we want to rescue.
Yeah, it seems like they just want to keep him in this area as they work on their last cipher, really maximizing that chair time, as you pointed out here. So Duck's kind of a sitting duck here, just trying to find the best possible rotation, but sees the scratch marks on the floor. So it seems like Yuki, I don't know if she's going to try to make a hard press towards that rescue. So it seems like we're still going to sit here, and the cipher progress is going to, the last cipher is going to sit at 29%.
One thing I don't disagree with the survivors is if we aren't going to rescue, I think just having Puppeteer to give Tinnitus is enough. Enchantress shouldn't be focused on her way in here. Leaving would be the best option, as right now Puppeteer also can slowly make his way out too. But once again, you just see Meowpie kind of rotating around there. Could definitely go to her shack to decode that Cypher machine, but I'm not too sure what the decision making here is, as here comes out the doll. Hello, my friend. Enchantress is our best chase.
True. So now we're going to see Flywheel through, but the pallet here isn't as strong. Does have to transition away. We're at full presence Hell Ember. They're forced to open another Cypher while Meow can't afford to rest up. Luckily for the Enchantress, she does have that borrowed time, but just needs to kite this one out.
Oh, what a nice stun, but Blink here is available ready to use. There we go. Very discreet from the side of Enchantress here. Once again, it kind of is just more the fact that we're going to start making our way towards the map control scenario. This is what Hellenberg is good at, and you're missing still a full Cypher machine, so he does have so much room to play.
Yeah, he does. So excellent stuff, forcing out the self-heal possibly on Meow's side, while everyone is still kind of forced to, you know, keep an eye on those puppets that his domain, that he's able to just drop these puppets and also these Ember spirits. But Yuki, again, just giving that Tinnitus, now will be the one to take his chase. Needs to go into puppet form just for the transition to happen towards this pallet. Mind game through, able to actually get a bit of distance through it.
Unfortunately speaking, we couldn't break the pallet here, so we should be able to fall over here once again as this final does break. But even so, you see as well, right? It was the healing given towards our Enchantress. Now she's back at full health, as our Cypher machine still yet to progress.
Yeah, so they're trading off the healing for the Cypher progress. Again, Yuki doing a great job. Like you pointed out, these pallets are still here to work. We still have puppets to use. It's Puppeteer puppets. And now Meow going for another round up against Dux's Hell Ember, but now Joker might be the one to be chased next, which is a good chase target since he does not have that borrowed time for endgame.
We do see as well, right, the trade-off between using Insolence and Trump Card. If we had Trump Card here, it could have instantly teleported straight towards our own doll and go after Yuki here one more time. But Meowpie at middle right now, as Joker here being forced out as we drop down an Ember. This map control is insane from Dux, and Meowpie still having one stack on her hands to use. Should be able to stack up here just a tiny bit more, but unfortunately speaking, could not get a hit past the pallet.
Yeah, so it seems like, yeah, Duck's just forced to kind of monitor the territories that were set up here at the graveyard area, backdoor, and also towards the broken walls. So the numbers game can slowly creep up towards you, Kuro, because as we speak, the ciphers are climbing above 50%, and they have a backup cipher just in case.
Yes, exactly. Not only that as well, we have to see here, it just is so tough as well. These ciphers may seem like they're pretty close to each other, especially as the Hellenberg, but with all survivors here at full health, still 2 Titans left, let's not forget. You still have a chance of a 3-man escape as Meowpie containing now for our second chase, finally speaking, as we want to get more Ember stacks here, hopefully for Ducks.
Nice. Able to actually use that that stun just to transition towards that pallet. We do note that they're also cleaning up the puppets, right? You want to be able to just get rid of that so he doesn't have that map pressure. And they already pushed the last cipher here, pushed for the end game. Just like that. And unfortunately, the blink did not connect here, so that's extra time on the board for our survivors.
Not only that as well, Lewis can be activated one last time. The gate is currently at 38%, but it seems like there's an Ember on towards one of the exit gates here, so it has currently been stalled out for a little while longer. Dungeon on this side of the map, let's not forget. Puppeteer wanting to look for a little bit more, but unfortunately could not vault over it.
Okay, going very aggressive here, trying to actually go for the end game here, and now gets it open in time, but hang on, able to get a stack onto him, but this allows Lewis to actually heal up.
Not only that as well, we can possibly speaking even crawl towards the exit gate right now. Meowpie trying to buy a little bit more time. One stack of Ember on our hands to, not Ember, stacks on our hands to use. We flywheel here as well. So just one single stack and flywheel out towards the gate. Ember should not be able to catch up here on time as Magician got out here at the same time too. We're able to teleport back just on time. Yuki, she got up and she's making towards dungeon. It's a dream. Even get hit in that scenario. We lost so much time being able to reuse it in that containment time at 73 seconds. As well, Yuki's endgame scenario.
I would say favorable position, and we've seen even yesterday a Cueist,
kind of nice here with the spawn locations for the survivors as we see this area selection mode.
as well as blink and fast pallet breaking on the side of Heshen.
Win lead, as we see here as well. The screen is a little bit choppy from our side, but if you look at the bottom, oh
There
no,
you
we're
go.
back here to normal. Oh,
We're
never
back to
mind, we're
us.
back here to us. Ah, look at that.
Look at us. Okay, I don't wonder if he locked in any ciphers, but he did start at the middle, and he is on the way to the broken walled area. As he pointed out, Kuro, he can have a really good cipher lock if he can, but I think this just allows the survivors to make the rotations, but they have to be very careful to not get caught out here.
Seems like we won't be able to see Immortal here. Unfortunately, speaking the Magician. Oh, no, never mind. We do see the Magician. It's tied to the Magician here, so quite hard when it comes to trying to contain for an even longer time. But Heshen here, seems like we're changing targets towards Gardener. Kishi, the only one with that shield. But even with the shield, it finally does burst as we have 9 seconds until blink.
Yeah, so it seems like he will be chasing towards here at the back area. This allows the ciphers to kind of be moved along towards the middle, but we know that the Cueist can set up cue balls, and now the blink hit. At least it's not a blink down. He was able to get that first presence, so let's see how he's able to close the distance here against Kishi.
Kishi manages to get towards the window, thankfully speaking, but another cue ball here from the side of Heshen. Ooh, didn't get the capture there, but even so, we should get a normal hit down without too much worries, as 2 out of 8 cue balls left and a 90-second containment.
Yeah, and Heshen just needs to work on getting that tight game. Doesn't necessarily have to overextend himself, but with how the Cueist can prolong the end game from happening, this could be a tough side on the survivors, so they're forced to go for this rescue. Luckily, they have some tide turners on the board with Immortal and Asto.
Exactly, but not only that as well, we see here, right, first rescue. We don't really know who wants to come in here just yet, but it should be Officer on his way in. You know it's going to be Immortal here. Instead, never mind, we did see Enchantress in by possibly trying to give support, but seems like everyone's just going to retreat for now.
Yeah, it seems like Heshen just tunneling this one survivor just to, just play it safe, right? The other survivors are kind of scrambling here. We do see Lucian here. The Enchantress to possibly get some stacks going on back into ball form. Let's see if he can try to harass away the Enchantress.
Oh, and Fly will use it early. Oi, that's non-pallets done, but now we can just go back. Instead, Heshen wants to look for a tiny bit more here. Force Enchantress back so much as we only need to get on towards cue ball just so we can go back straight towards Gardener as Ench does not have that movement speed to catch up.
Able to actually get through that window, and now we actually go towards the chair here, and I think this is actually really great on Heshen's side, just being a bit aggressive, just to not be able to make the Enchantress too comfortable, like has to go for a heal, and this promotes more healing than cipher rushing. So yeah, Heshen just really sitting on this lead, so just I'd say it's kind of calculated with how he's approaching this, just making sure Gardener is out, and he really puts the mid game in his favor.
But now favor is highly on the side of Heshen because everyone is currently injured. So, cue ball capture was able to. Still takes his son, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunate. Able to actually get the shield, but the cue ball capture was there, and that just recovered the entire attack recovery. And now Kishin's going to be sent out of the game, and it's going to be looking quite strong towards the mid game because Kuro, Cypher progress, not looking quite good.
And not only that as well, Inertia currently on an 8-second buff here. If we heal the 9-second buff, because if we heal the next survivor, it should be down to 7 seconds. But right now, everyone currently scrambling around Heshen, trying to see which Cypher machines he should go for. But once again, it's just a pushback here without audience effect. Hurts so much from the side of our survivors.
It really does, because you're really playing to the strengths of this hunter, building up that presence at the start, map control as well, and you're still, I think, a slave to where the ciphers are located, because you can't really pop that much for you to be able to pressure any of the environment and any of the numbers game to work in your favor. Now Heshen just has a lock on the center of this map. It's going to be really hard for them to try and push for any of this to happen. We do see force out Blink here just for Immortal to be chased out of the church area.
The good news here is Enchantress was healing most of these survivors, so 3 stacks on hand to use. Very beautiful one. They're being used just to dodge that cue ball capture one last time, as now we should get captured here. Beautifully done by Heshen with that mind game, as Magician, unfortunately speaking, does not have the hand speed to counter that.
Quite unfortunate, but we do note that Enchantress does have that 4-stack going on. Unfortunately, she does not have a Tide Turner to try to... They've already exhausted all their Tide Turners, right? So now it's only a matter of time. Heshen just has to sit on this lead for him to get the victory. That's a 4-stack. But it's all good because he's able to actually find him so far off that the rotation is not going to be in time. He's still going to be able to catch up here.
So smooth from Heshen as well with that drop down, as Magician does get rescued while he remains invisible, but even so, charge that hit, will it go through? No, Immortal, beautiful patient. Capture here one more time, back to invisibility as trying to double check where Magician is.
Oh
but
my.
It's just not enough.
Yeah, just out in the open even, and just that cue ball capture is just so strong because it nullifies an entire kiting area and just guarantees a down. So Heshen just really playing with the Cueist toolkit so well. I mean, that was I'd say the 4-stack really worked out well, but now he can just he has to be able to just find a way to just sit on this, and he could be looking at a 5-point game.
You also see his own kind of movements as well with those cue balls too at the same time. It's just so smooth and careful to the point that it's actually quite a work of art. Now Immortal finally back on towards that pallet. We didn't fall over here, thankfully speaking. Very patient here as forcing Heshen to get off his Maxwell Demon because those cue balls have just expired.
Yeah, just when we say like, oh, he's doing really well, but the mind game is definitely won. But the charged up attack is going to send the Magician out of this game. 2 Ciphers still remain, and Kuro quite unfortunate because he's already taken out the 60% one and taken it down a peg to 49%. So Heshen really working to get that 5-point game.
Yeah, the Mill Cipher Machine is just kind of the one that's the worst case scenario for survivors. It just keeps getting pushed back no matter how much you want to decode it, and it just allows Heshen to buy so much time for himself and his items to be ready. As you can see here too, right? We blinked open Magician, and Blink is back up ready once again, right after that elimination.
True. You still have to deal with detention, right? And it's looking real tough for the survivors, but they are healing up and they do have some items to work with. However, this next kite has to be a god kite for them to be able to push 2 Ciphers. And as you mentioned, he's patrolling around the area and also has a lockdown on the center Cipher.
Let's have a look here. Everyone back to full health as still no progression on the Cipher Machine, but even so, Heshen's kind of having a hard time to see where our next survivor is. Officer is kind of available here at middle, but one last pocket watch usage. If we can force this one out, it's a huge advantage point. As
wow. And also a hit before the pocket watch mind game could happen, so it's only the Enchantress that has to rush some of these Ciphers, but it's looking like a checkmate scenario here, Kuro. Astel, you have to give it up to them. This is their first Call of the Abyss qualifiers, and they really don't want to give anything away to Heshen, so they will take this till the very end.
Yeah, but I would say it's still a good job from the side of AL as well, right? We're able to prolong for so long up against Heshen's Qs too, being able to heal, and very nice disciplines from both survivor, well, all the survivor side here as well. But even so, we're going to see how the endgame slug goes, because they're really good at hiding, they're really good at rotationing too. And with Officer on the ground, if we're able to buy enough time until he is at 80% elimination, he can still pick himself up, and right after that force down, it's a guaranteed bleed out, as Ench can still take dungeon.
Seems like Enchantress is kind of closing the distance to get towards that first officer, at least on that side. Enchantress does have some tools to work with. Full health, 4-stack on, as well as I do believe there are some pallets over at Wedding that were not utilized just yet. But it seems like he's double backing just to prepare the breakable walls, but seems to change trajectory on the lower left side of the screen. And also Dungeon is towards the top broken wall part of the map.
Funny Enchantress here. We do see the blood trails having to drop down that triple stack. Knee-jerk reflex out with the polish, and with this, Cueist being forced to use some items again. But I do believe with First Officer picking himself up here, he has the full graveyard with 2 chests to use to get additional items.
Nice. Okay, so Enchantress able to get a mini stun for the kite to actually prolong just a little bit. Might be actually kiting on top of the first officer, who's actually getting an item here. So he's going to go for just a regular hit. Flywheel is still on the table for the Enchantress to use, and first officer is also in this area.
Oh, it's a perfume here, unfortunately, but we did manage to get that cue ball capture, so back down we go here together, very far out away from the pallets. Heshen, such smooth controls, but once again, it is speed boost here, so Flywheel, nice bot time, no blinker being used, another stun. But Heshen was so patient there.
I know. I liked how he forced the hand of the Enchantress, right? When he was vaulting, he'd just take the vault. You're going to stun me out of it. I still have Blink, and he was able to get himself out of that scenario real well. But like you pointed out, First Officer with that perfume doesn't really help out. You really just want... that's usually the case, right, Kuro? You want a syringe, you get perfume. You want perfume, you get the syringe. It's like, oh man, this game.
Yeah, but you know what? There is still a chance. Officer has yet to be found here. We're going towards the back, trying to look for that additional chest. Are we cheering here, Heshen? Is the right question that has to be given, because I just feel like he wants to drop it down a bit further away towards one of the corners where, if First Officer is here, we should be able to find tonight. I do think it's just to, you know, prevent the bleed out as much as we can.
Yeah, I think there's no... I mean, Heshen doesn't want to just take the 3-point game, just allow 1 point. He's sitting on a really good lead. And as I say that, First Officer able to find a syringe. So this is actually going to work well with the perfume that he does have. You can just really prolonging the end game, but you're kind of just kicking the can down the road because Kuro, they still have to answer for those 2 ciphers remaining.
You see here as well, right? First Officer backs for the full health here with one final last needle. We do hear the tinnitus, but even so, Officer with that item should be able to buy quite a lot of time here. Officer, perfume. Oh,
yeah, this is quite unfortunate because now he's just one more hit falling down. Has the perfume to kind of backstep here, but can't tank a hit. Unfortunately, there's no capture that's going to be in place here. We're going to see him go back into cue ball form just to negate the pallet, but he's still sticking around this area. Enchantress is already up. One more hit would do it. Charged up attack, and now that's the First Officer down with no self-heal. Now we just have to work on the Enchantress.
Yeah, unfortunately speaking, First Officer picked himself up there, a little bit too early. He's only around 75% bled out here. If it was maybe around 90%, could have definitely had a chance to escape. But it seems like right now we're going to play a tiny bit more safer from Heshen's point of view because A, we know where dungeon is, and B, 16 seconds until blink.
And First Officer could sit on the chair for a while, so Enchantress is going to have to survive for as long as he can before this dungeon could even open up, which, as you mentioned, dungeon is already spotted out. And Blink is already there. Enchantress, unfortunately, just still sticking on 1 stack. Now we're just seeing the excellent movement and mechanical skills of Heshen here, just connecting all these cue ball formations. Lucian is actually trying to make a beeline, a hard court press to get this rescue going.
Oh, if this is an after half rescue, I think it'll be better from the side of survivors. If this is after half, then we can't share. But before half, I think from AL they didn't realize this. But
yeah,
with it being after half, if we get the First Officer hit, then we can't share him, and we also can't bleed him out at the same time too. So it's a lose-lose scenario here for Heshen. But now going after our Enchantress, who is not bled out enough. As Officer, we see him trying to rush that final cipher. Well, 4th cipher, excuse me.
Yeah, so now, going for an early flywheel just to get through the pallet, and Heshen able to catch the survivor. Leapin. Enchantress is actually about to bleed out towards that dungeon area. Astel trying to find another item. You gotta give it up to AL. They are fighting tooth and nail. What is gonna be the item? Unfortunately, I think that's a gardener's... Oh, no, sorry, opening it up. It's another syringe. This could work out.
Oh, we're walking, trying to hide, but I think we should be outside of Tinnitus range here. Heshen might have realized that this survivor is at the back, as Astel here, First Officer, really trying his best to heal, but I think Heshen is able to find him here just about on time, and there we go. Try to attack it with the blink wall up as he does bleed out.
Kind of rally back into this, but that is a pretty big point.
Throughout the 6-minute mark, Cypher Machine started slowly going down.
Thank you for... And I wasn't just dreaming that. So anything is still on the table. I'm
Tide Turner here. I don't think it's enough to actually outrun her even.
A lower right spawn here. Cushion having the...
We're gonna move on straight towards the game between AL versus AR, which your professional commentary is being brought to
face the wrath of Heshen's opera singer. Not wasting any time. Already patrolling around the center of this map. Shadow dancing his way just so they can catch up to this prospector that is already latched on one of the magnets, but gets the hit and it cancels out! Kuro! What the hell? That was a 20-second down!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this might be the reason why we don't see Prospector as much up against Opera Singer 2. It's a bit hard to say there whether or not you can push back or get the stun, but it does seem like he wanted the stun before he get in between the pallet, but that was so unfortunate.
What the helly, bro? That's insane. I mean, I did say face the wrath of Heshen, but man, he's really living up to those words. So early down, big rotation at the start. So Heshen really not pulling back any punches and welcoming the new bloods here in Call of the Abyss and just making sure you're really gonna have to earn your keep here. Mercenary just getting the early rescue. Heshen already putting on another exchange here, able to gain that distance, but just the Opera could just catch up right away. Flywheel a little too early just to get towards that pallet, but the last effort has already been popped.
The big unfortunate thing here is also Basement is right in front of us here too. Max presence for the upper tier right before Prospector went down. With this Basement pick, trump card ready in 30 seconds if I can see those. No, 36 seconds, excuse me. So I think Heshen might just leave and try look for his next target without even bothering to camp.
He could, because man, what a great start. If you are a hunter, that is the best possible scenario to start off with. Again, he wanted to find the Prospector, found him at the start. Forced already a Tide Turner to be used, and look at that, he's already at the center. He has controlled one of the win cons of this game already. He already has a shadow on that area, so it's going to be really hard for them to try and push for that end game as the Prospector is close to expiring.
It's so unfortunate for Prospector here. The first chase went down a bit too fast because our Magnet was the imposter of this game.
Whoa.
A nice warp over towards the other side. But can we see the survivors healing? We can. Mercenary couldn't get up on time. Can we get a pushback? Nicely done by our meteorologist. But even so, we're still just so close and we can't leave.
Yeah, not quite yet. And look at that, Mercenary forced to use an elbow pad here, and Heshen closing the distance here. Pallet mind games, good job, but unfortunately, the exchange is going to come out in Heshen's favor.
With Heshen right now, 2 minutes and 30 seconds in towards the game, Mercenary back down on the ground, yes, as additional title on Meteorologist is some sort of good news. But once again, you can see, with them trying to full counter that Ivy, Opera Singer is just way too hard to play up against just with one flywheel. Yeah,
it's really a bit tough here on the side on the of the survivors here with how well Heshen started things out. So we do have a wind, able to actually hit him out of the cloud just for him to get that rescue ongoing. Breaks the pallet. Now just needs to focus his attention onto this Mercenary here that does have one elbow pad to work with. But now through the pallets, doing a good job thus far. But Heshen still like holding on the pressure here to the survivors and hits through the pallet, Kuro.
Yeah, that hit past the pallet is crazy. The mind games here from Heshen is obviously burning down, but you can't also still forget that survivors, their Cypher Machine decoding progress is still pretty decent here as well. We're almost 3.5 Cypher Machines done, starting our final and fifth one, as now it's all up to this cheerleader for our final rescue.
Cheerleader coming out here in the open. It's gonna have to do a lot to be able to get this happening. A lot of shadows he can teleport back to, and Immortal has a bit of a distance, gets the hit early on, could just shadow teleport back, gets the hit. Let's see if it did expire. Might have to just go. Oh, you're right, warp instead.
Oh, but Cheerleader is kind of stuck in a hard place. Just like not to go after her. We have to go after her. There's a Tramp Pioneer, but there's also the dashes here ready available to use as well. Cheerleader trying to get out as Shadow's back, force out her last item.
Wow, so Heshen just a step ahead here. I like the difference in playstyle, right? Cueist very methodical here. It's just go, go, go from the start, and Heshen now has a second survivor out of this game.
Dungeon is at middle, but this Meteorologist cannot use her clouds here at all to heal. We're gonna see survivors here meeting up at Graveyard, but it seems like Heshen already knows this information as right now sees the other two currently rotating towards the back. Oh, maybe we kind of just missed it on a hand, but with this Tinnitus, it's a guarantee straight towards the face, up that window, and we're able to spot 2 for 1 right now.
2 for 1 promo here on survivors, and Heshen is taking the sails and just falls right in front of him. Heshen would gladly take that hit, and now just a slugfest from here on out. And he's topping his previous performance because there's 2 ciphers remaining, but here it's 3 ciphers remaining. And for Sakura, those 2 ciphers are actually at the 80% mark, so they're quite close. But if he's able to get it down early onto the cheerleader and go back, could be a big wrap here on Heshen's side.
Yeah, but not only that, you can't forget that warp is almost available here as well. So with Cheerleader, even with just 1 pom-pom, it's not enough to outrun an Opera Singer like this. We do Shadow Strike here, excuse me, just to go for the leap, but right now Immortal. A lot of distance here, pulled here still, thankfully speaking, but even so, it's a bit hard here. Meteorologist can pick herself up, but that hit didn't hit.
Not quite. We're also gonna have warp ready in just a bit. But I mean, yeah, he just has to focus on waiting for the cooldown of the pom-pom, and now Meteorologist does get up. has to hunt for some items, but Heshen knows where the drop happened over at the graveyard. And I mean, it just shows why Opera Singer is also a hunter that is not to be trifled with.
It's, I would say, really, once again, Survivors didn't do bad. I'd say early game was an unfortunate thing of it all, as the warp here finally comes through, seeing the Blood Threads or Meteorologist. Just with 1-1, but it's such a nice bait there as well. However, Heshen, too veteran of a hunter. What a flywheel. It's just not enough up against him.
Yeah, it's just an incredible showcase of Heshen, right? The survivors really tried, but Heshen played the matchup so well. And yeah, just inducting them to Call of the Abyss here on the qualifiers. Gonna chair, because Cheerleader does fall down on her last hit and has no self-recovery. So we shall just wait and see where Heshen tries to find this Cheerleader. Again, Cheerleader, at least the moral victory would be to find that dungeon and just survive for as long as he can to get there.
Yeah, and there's also still a chance of maybe potentially speaking rescuing that Meteorologist at the same time too. Cheerleader, 2 out of 2 pom-poms, but I would say it's kind of the one of the things with Heshen, right? Not really the best at finding survivors. It takes a lot of time to kind of roam around and find, but it's also very understandable as well. As here you can see, shuttle guns already being used, being forced now to go back towards that corner, and you see Cheerleader's own location as well, very close towards his chair, as Heshen is going to go back.
Yeah, and Heshen could just camp it out here because the dungeon is there and the 3 friends are going to be on their way. But it seems like he's actually going to try and get the rescue going. He's actually closing out real close here, but Heshen realizes that maybe he can catch him out, and I believe he sees the trails.
There is a chance, since dungeon is a middle, we could potentially speaking pump on our way over, but I do believe we're just waiting for a warp here to be ready before we just, close that distance and make it even harder for our Cheerleader to get away.
Okay, Shadow Dance back. Immortal has to play this very carefully. Does have walls to work with, and as you pointed out, Warp is going to be online in a few seconds, and Heshen could just teleport back just in the nick of time. But yeah, I think you just keep waiting for his cooldowns here.
Playing it a little bit more safely here. Maybe just wanted to get close before the double. Oh, okay. Fully denied.
Able to actually get the 5-point game back to back. Again, you got to give it up to Ace. It did a big reaction from us when that attack recovery was canceled and just played that early Prospector matchup, forcing LB to kind of go for the
2 survivors here that you can chase after between the 4.
Later today, but you got to give it up to Team AL.
In fact, up against a Ivy that we're talking about here.
Do or die for AL, and all is riding on this Ivy pick by Arisa. So they have the tools, but AR is holding all the cards here just for them to get one person eliminated. Joker already getting scared here with 61% stack. Just going to make sure he just transitions away and just safeguards the center area just so that he'll be able to have that Cypher control.
Umpire is kind of standing stationary as we are waiting for Dash Cypher to be unlocked here, as yes, the Weeping Clan will be able to pull out, but even so, doesn't seem like we've any thoughts here to go towards Teeth.
Yeah, so Weeping Clown still at the corner area. We're gonna get an Ostracon area over at the top part of this map, while the attention is gonna be grabbed by Joker. A Meteorologist has already got rid of the stack. And yeah, AR Survivor's doing really well, just making the numbers game go in their advantage. And Joker understands the assignment, gets scared, but the pallet, it's still gonna be fine though. Can he get out in time? He gets the rocket dash.
What a flywheel to create distance and then rocket put away. We can leech on here one more time, but the issue is the fact that your down is going to be even longer than 100 seconds. The leech and blink can be a good follow-up, but even so, Joker are trying to get away. We're able to get so much stacks here. This might be bad, but 47, we can blink open and revelation, and then potentially we can get a second hit ASAP.
Drew gets a 91 stack. He's actually in this area, but the pallet is actually going to be the mind game here. But like you pointed out, the blink is going to register. I'd say it was actually a good start for Jokra and got a little bit of ciphers going on and just prolonged that down for as much as he could. However, we're still in the thick of it, Kuro. Can't call it yet.
Exactly. We're now currently charting near towards Meteorologist as going towards Great Fever Cypher Machine, trying to lock it as he does make his way in here first as well. Now, T finishing off his Cypher Machine first when it was initially locked simply just states he was the only one not rotating around, so it only does make sense as Yuki has to take the final blow, even though, yes, we do still have that Tightener, so it's overall not the worst.
Still all good. Leech onto Yuki. And the Tide Turner does take Joker away, has one more Rocket Dash to work with. He's going to move on over towards the cemetery, or the graveyard side. See if he will get a spray onto this Gravekeeper before he, this clown before he gets onto the window. Able to get through it, so this is all good. Opening up a big chunk of the map, bro.
Oh, just on time as well, Posh, for that max presence to be open. We did manage to get Weeping Clown down on time, but if we see this...
A little more, at least that's down. But now, back to the game we go. It is going to be the second chair for our Weeping Clown.
Survivors here, we do see Gravekeeper on his way in here for the next rescue. The Leechon doesn't matter as much as he does have 2 out of 2 shovels, but for Arisa, potentially speaking, when you get the lock on towards survivors, bring the shadows back and go out and start map controlling, because we don't have max presence here just yet.
What's a little scary is that they don't have their last Cypher, and just like that, we do have the Thief to get hit here. It has to be very careful, can't get too corrupted here. This does allow the rescue to happen, so they don't have a backup Cypher, that's what I meant. They do have their last Cypher, but it's right at the center of this map, so it's gonna be tough if they really try to push that, and that Rocket Dash might come in through, gets the flywheel just to create that separation.
But unfortunately speaking, Weeping Clown can't use the rocket. Hey, we used it just to go for the stun. That's a brilliant move there, because if we try to pull distance out, it'll just be easily cancelled by that revelation from Ivy. But nice scare here once again. We got the 100 stack, and that's a beautiful hit down, even with Teef trying to support.
Wow, they're really trying to push this 97% Cypher. Meow is going to be chased out of this area. We do get a hit onto the Gravekeeper. It's going to be kind of tough, because this is the last Cypher that they can kind of push for. And now it just seems like there's so much the tombstones here just for them to even try and think about pushing the Cypher that's sitting at that 97% mark.
We don't want to really pop the Cypher Machine at middle, because this is the scariest one of them all, but it just seems like we're kind of left with no choice here at all, as Teef currently getting healed by that Clouds. But if you do change targets towards the Teef, that's not a good idea here too at the same time, just because if you knock him down, he's still going to get up with 80 stacks available on hand to use here as well. But our survivors have quite a decent amount of items here to use, as right now, new Cypher being decoded by Meteorologist.
I like this. They're opening up another Cypher just to gain the attention away from that center, just to pull away and get those cooldowns to be able to be used here to just camp it out. Because like you said, yeah, the center Cypher is too hot. They cannot touch this. PP might get chased, but he does have a great shovel to work with. So I'd say, Arisa getting the next down onto the Meteorologist. They go for that pop though, so 3-man endgame, Kuro.
It just felt like one of the kind of, if only Ivy's attack animation was a bit faster, then potentially speaking could have leached on towards Teef in that scenario. But Teef will have to take the blunt of the blade, as he will go down with no one at the gate here just yet.
We've seen how Dux did try to get more out of the gate, but he's going to go for a chair here. We're going to pressure a rescue. We're going to get the Phantom form to try and go for Yuki from opening that gate, and it's going to possibly get there in time at 69%, but we're still going to pressure a rescue on PP side. Again, they just need one person out the gate, and the gate is about to be open. No, we teleport through a detention hit onto Yuki. This allows the Thief to just go for that rescue, but
it just seems like right now we might be able to get this. Oh no, not just yet. Teef goes down here, unfortunately.
Yeah, so now it just seems like everyone is down, so can we get more out of the gate? Yuki trying to use up the self-heal, but Arisa going back here just to make sure. Watch out for that tram. We have to be very careful. And now we just get the pickup going. Gravekeeper is it's the only man standing. Thief still has the self-heal to work with, but it's still gonna be quite the way here, Kuro.
And I just feel like PP might just force himself out here. We do have the gate at 94% right now, so if he can't just get out, that might not be a bad idea. We're teleporting back towards Teef as GK. We're going to go for a rescue here one more time. Okay, it does come true, but you still have the leech on this side, so maybe it's time to kind of separate as Gravekeeper. Just barely got into shovel on time.
Yeah, and now able to actually force attack recovery, so now going to pressure the rescue onto Thief's side. But like you pointed out, that was a very timed shovel. They're really playing with fire here. No one's actually attempting to go for that gate. I do think there's a tombstone there, but you can most likely just touch the gate and it's going to open. Goes back there, and now PP is vulnerable. Gets the hit, but no more detention.
Oh, there goes away the team.
Wow.
Here comes Yuki here at the back. 35 stacks here. It needs to go down here, but it seems like we're able to teleport over. And hey, not a down there just yet. There's still a chance. We can still get out here. We might be able to leech back onto its Graveyard. So Graveyard, if we can rush this, it'll be the best case scenario as a terror shock hit down on the side of Yuki here once again. But it's just Gravekeeper barely making that escape. And Arisa, such a great clutch game, but it just isn't.
Like a 5-point game, and we were going to get that BO3, but the win cons still remain the same. We just need
that detention right after she hit the grave.
Match stats here. The win condition was barely Hell Ember round 1, and you had Heshen with his mechanically. They will be in just a bit. GH was kind of sitting on ice, but
and great performance coming in from both sides, Hunter and Survivor, like the Cueist that we saw in matchup 1 today. GH.
This is arguably Cueist's best map. He can cipher lock with we're going to talk about it a little bit later on, because right now the stats are
Momoka's Cueist at a different map this time around. Ever Slipping Town hitting straight for Yuki. We've seen how Yuki kite against a Hell Ember in the Arms Factory before. Very fast reaction time and great kiting as well. But Momoka seems like he doesn't want to commit to Yuki. We'll be heading towards the center area where Melpai, the Enchantress, is at. Whether this is a good chase, now maybe you take us through this.
Yeah, I mean, basically what happens here is Cueist doesn't want to commit to a chase straight away. He just wants to build that presence, wait until his blink is almost up. He just rotates and chase people off the ciphers first. So right now he's going to commit towards Meowpai, hopefully trying to land that first hit first. But he knows, right? Meowpai knows, right? Against a Cueist, you got to pre-drop pallets as well, especially after going in. So Momoka is basically just making Meowpai waste those pallets, wait until his blink is up, and possibly commit towards another survivor, stop them from committing. But right now, blocking the cipher onto Yuki. Yuki right here, pre-drop pallet, but the blink is going to be ready in 3 seconds. Let's see if that's going to hit very, very early on.
Alright, Yuki also trying to establish the distance so that blink hit won't happen here, but it seems like it will still unavoidably, and the hit registers. Yuki will vault through and hit towards the second floor, now into ball form here. Can she get captured here? It seems like she will not bite and will levitate and take advantage of this now. Momoka falls back into ball form here, and Yuki able to kite out for a second time.
Yeah, has to be really careful with the cue ball, because that's gonna be the black hole, and the flywheel's not gonna stop it as well. You cannot even flywheel out of it, not to mention Yuki doesn't have the flywheel, but Meowpai is here, providing that support if necessary. There's 2 stacks right here, so very early support coming out, because they know that if they want to stand a chance, they got to help the kite go a little bit further on. Beautiful flywheel. Momoka still trying to waste a little bit more time, buying that stack. He's almost at 3 stacks, a quarter to 3 stacks, but this is a very dangerous game he's playing here. Okay, so that's gonna be the 3rd stack. Momoka is obviously not gonna pick him up. Alright, the burst stack, but he's still inside. Yeah, you cannot really kite out of it. The item by Yuki is almost gone as well, Chocho.
Yeah, a lot of usage of the bottles there. So currently at this point in time, Yuki's second kite potential will not be very great. But let's see if the team commits for this rescue here. We do see Enchantress sending the help me, which means that a healing will happen with PP and Meowpai. Aeroplanes coming in for the rescue, seems like, and does have a Titana to work with, but let's see how successful it's gonna be.
Yeah, triple Titaners, right? Just in order to just buy enough time, as much time as possible. But that's the thing. Successful rescue going on. Reborn kite is gonna happen needs to be really, really good in order to buy more time. But here's the thing, Momoka is not tunnel vision. Not only is he chasing, he's also cipher controlling, because this is undoubtedly one of the best maps for Cueist. Right now, taking Meowpai instead. That's gonna be half health. Meowpai won't be able to harass as much right now, but again, great mobility coming in from the Cueist. Momoka right here chasing after Yuki. Re-drop pallet, no blink to work with, is forced to break the pallet, and Momoka continuing pursuit. But Yuki, that's the last of the bottle resources there, Jojo.
Yeah, last of it, but even though we see the down here by Yuki, right, we did see her kiting beyond the tight turn-up period, which is actually quite good for the team here, but we did see a lot of time being brought out healing each other instead of decoding, so Cypher progress not the best, I must say, and not too sure whether PP will come in and commit for this rescue and buy a little more time for the rescue, for the decoding, as we see PP will be joined, will be caught out here, will use the watch preemptively. Can he get safely towards the chair and come in for the rescue here? Things are gonna look very tricky here for PP.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's very good to be careful earlier on. And right now, trying to make that rescue, I don't think you can really do an unharmed rescue. It's going to take that one hit. Yuki is going to be able to run away, asking for Meow Pie. So beautiful decision, allowing Meow Pie to be in the middle just in order to block at least. Yeah, you know what? Injure Meow Pie doesn't really matter. He's at 3 stacks right now. So Cho, the chase continues, but I feel like Meow Pie is just going to continue this trend of over supporting right here. And with very good reason as well. But Yuki, a little bit too far. Needs to be really careful. Blink is up. The stun burst is going to happen right now. Yuki is trying to kite towards a safer area, but with a blink ready as well, I'm not sure if Yuki is going to have enough time. Oh, okay.
Yeah, got captured by the ball there. Got captured by Momoka and will be sent back to the mana here. We're seeing 3 survivors injured. Healing is ongoing between Jokra as well as Meow Pie. So at least one person will be full health. Maybe another if they are lucky enough and Momoka doesn't catch them. But looking at our ciphers now, the last cipher is also being worked on. I'm not too sure how long the second kite is going to be here, especially against a Blink Cueist.
That's true, that's true. But honestly, I feel like they are holding up their own pretty well, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, with that blink still ready, PP is gonna go down. I would say, I would give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he did not use his watch because he wants to prepare for late game. I would give him that benefit of doubt. Because if he uses it up now, maybe, you know, he wouldn't be able to kite late game. But it's really okay because Meow Pie on rescuing duty right now. They're going to start a new cipher very far away. So they know the Cueist needs to be around the vicinity. The Nitus has already been popped, right? So Meow Pie around this vicinity can probably just go for one rescue, but he's gonna go for that before half rescue. So I'm not sure if that's gonna allow him for a secondary rescue after that. Probably is gonna commit with a watch. But Momoka, again, see, not being tunnel vision, going straight for the cipher, just making sure he cuts, he does the cipher control, you know, and now chasing after Jokra, pushing him out of the cipher. This will allow both of them to heal though. So AR is trying to play the long game, but Momoka is gonna come out advantageous because the survivors are going to run out of resources very soon.
Yeah, and we're seeing that Jokra is kiting towards 2 of his teammates that's healing as well. Not too sure whether there was a comms issue coming in from there as well. As we see all of them just running like headless chickens away from the hunter. And things just cannot look more messy than this. As we see the last cipher not being worked on, they've decoded their 7th cipher. And a lot of progress have been pushed back because this is a Cueist we're talking about. As we see Jokra trying to decode, a lot of them are just running. Nothing is really happening. No healing, no decoding. What should be the focus point here for the survivors now?
They should really start getting PP and finding that item first, right? Because right now Meow Pie is the only one that's healthy, but not for long because Momoka is trying to injure everyone. Because when everyone's injured, this is going to give the advantage significantly towards Momoka. And this is where the danger area comes in. He's controlling the middle part of the map. He can go anywhere he wants. He's the Cueist. Oh my goodness. And look, PP has no more item to work with. He can take the tram, however, so that's going to buy some more time for him. So good on him. But again, the threat of not having a last cipher is gonna pay off. Oh no. Wait, is that the cue ball? Oh, he got transported out! Cho.
My goodness, what a play coming in from Momoka. Just preventing additional time being wasted of the tram traveling towards the other side and getting that hit. So great play coming in from Momoka, and at the same time we did see some healing happening. So at least that is kind of like a saving grace. But you mentioned already, this is a Cueist. We're talking about the map control is insane. Cipher control is more than insane. As we see a blink hit coming through as well. Jokra will be dying between the 3 ciphers here. Momoka will be chairing Jokra. So they're all taking turns onto the chair except for Meow Pie. Meow Pie is trying to push for that 55% cipher as PP is injured.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's playing the long game. Look, the game is almost 10 minutes, right? He's just wasting all of the resources as much as possible. With the exception of Meow Pie, everyone's resources is running out. Jokra still has 2 jetpacks to work with, but he's on the chair right now. PP has to leave decoding duty and probably go for the rescue right here. But Momoka, look, he's just trying to make sure everyone's injured. If Meow Pie gets injured here again, they're gonna waste time and try and heal him back again. But Momoka knows what's up. The trajectory, look, he's just constantly going back and forth between the 2 domains right here, and he's gonna catch them out in the open.
Oh my goodness, the heal did not happen. They tried to force it. No, I'm not sure what the comms were because I'm pretty sure Meow Pie could have potential.
Even more at this point, it's going to lead up to a 4K. It's ultimately going to lead up to a 3 or 4K because 2 of them are already out.
2 of them are already out, like you mentioned. Meow Pie is trying to force a cipher. Can it pop though? Like, oh, and now pushed back because of the netting and captured by the ball. The hit registers and Enchantress can't push that Cypher. Last Cypher, it's still stagnant, pushed back. Nothing they could do here. Jokra is still at the Cypher trying to decode. Momoka is keeping them really busy now, and AR survivors, I don't think they can keep up with Momoka's rhythm here.
Whoa! A little bit of flywheel there, a double back into a burst stun. Meowpai can afford that, right? Because he has that burst stun to happen. He knows that Momoka does not have excitement. But this is where things get very scary. He's just going to continue mini abnormaling the Cyphers. And now going back to where Jokra is, the Cyphers only at 65%. Get out of that area right now, Jokra. Basically, everyone's injured at this point. Both of them have some resources to work with to guard. But at this point, he's just gonna keep mini abnormaling the Cyphers, Jojo.
Yeah, the mini abnormaling is one thing, but him just having like three balls right like that, just able to get between these two Cyphers so easily, forcing them to be busy, whether you're gonna decode or not, pushing back Cyphers as well. As we see Momoka will be committing to a Joker, Joker forced to use the last jackpack here, unfortunately. As we see Meowpai still trying to push that 80% Cypher.
Oh, nice.
Jokra also kiting towards where Meowpai is as well. So now he's down at the center area. Meowpai is even closer to him, and Momoka will just lock in on Meowpai. This is a 4K stalemate situation potentially for GH.
Exactly. GH has got to be really happy with this result, right? Momoka is on the verge of eliminating 4 of them. He's not going to give any chance for the Cyphers of Prime. He's just going to keep getting everyone injured, and with that, the longer he drags it, the more advantageous he's going to be. 5-0?
Yeah, as we look into the match that's it now.
Yeah, 215 seconds, right? And that's at the wrong position, and when she goes back, hit her. You know what I mean?
At the very least today. So asking a one escape from them, feel of this match in a while time. As we see also the personas, we're seeing
Do or die. Heshen on the Goatman needs to get a 4K to equalize the score right here. Seems like the first target might be Little Boy, but Heshen is just pushing him out of the vicinity. He knows that the graveyard can be a really tricky place to rest, to attack, right? So trying to find that next target. God J is in the vicinity. Perhaps he really wants that perfumer in the very end, Jojo.
yeah, even though it was a long distance, we ultimately did see his favorite target here. We've seen Hunters trying to capitalize on God J here, but did they really get what they want here? As you see the perfume being expanded here, really forcing the Hunter to give her the hit. Unfortunately, no hit was given. She was back with the perfume and she is safe. Now another 4 seconds, then she can use another perfume, but seems like the hit will still register, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's very nice. Depending on the cooldown, right? Does not want to give opportunity for God J to rotate out of the location from this area. So that's already the first hit being employed. Beautiful. Perfume's not going to matter much. He just needs to make sure he hits. And that's going to register. Beautiful first down in less than 1 minute. Total progress, not really that much. But unfortunately, God J's Vera might not actually be working against Goatman so far.
I think GH start may be quite similar to how AR survivors had in their first half. So let's see how they execute it here. As we see Skyfall doing so much mind games with the Hunter. The hit still registers, unfortunately. The rescue will be safe here. Let's see how Heshen will get the instant down onto God J. He manages to see which one is God J. And since the hit was still registered, Titanite is in effect here. So it will buy some time for them to go.
Yeah, at this point, you might be wondering, why did he just stand there and break the glass, right? Guys, that's because he knows that he's going to go down anywhere. Might as well just break the glass, use last effort, run further away from the other teammates into a very favorable position, so to speak, right? Oh my god! Beautiful flywheel by Neru right there! Sorry, the negate right there, but he's going to be hit at the same time. Heshen at 85 probably wants to just finish off the 100%. Neru probably shouldn't commit any more here. You do not want to have too many people injured at this point, but he's gonna try and buy a little bit more time. Let's see what's gonna happen here. Okay, go through. Oh my god, he's gonna position him.
Wow, the Archer coming through against a Goatman. We can see how troublesome it is for Heshen to do. We saw how much time was being bought here. As we look into the Cyphers, guys, 3 full Cyphers almost done.
No. I feel like the advantage is at Heshen. Brilliant play, Jojo. Brilliant play. Bringing him towards that third Cypher. Down there, stop. You see, like that's... And Neru's injured. Archer's injured, Skyfall has chip damage, Little Boy's coming in for the rescue, but look, the Cypher's being controlled at the same time, so brilliant positioning right there by Heshen to continue. Got Jay with the last remaining rebound kite available. Let's see if that's gonna happen. Oh my goodness!
Okay, got Jay vaulted successfully, able to use the perfume as well, hits back. Nothing really can be done here as you see the tide turner would be still in effect. The hit registers, but Godjay survives for another day. The cage, unfortunately, the back lift was a little bit confusing for us as we see Heshen still able to land that hit regardless, but the resentment is so low right now.
That's how you play a Goatman, ladies and gentlemen. This is the standards right here. Heshen showing the gold standards of Southeast Asia right here. And with that, Godjay is going to be the first survivor to be sent back to the manor. But it is far from over. GH survivors are still trying to push for that ciphers, but without the 5th cipher at all. And everyone with a chip damage, right? With the exception of Neru. This is going to be a hard... the second kite needs to be phenomenal in order to buy time until the last cipher being popped. Wow.
Yeah, and the hit
And the tip, right?
registers. Yeah, at the very tip of that weapon that he's
Skyfall!
holding.
Skyfall!
Skyfall might potentially
my
get a
God!
free hit here. Unfortunately, even though the watch was in use, we're seeing a big problem here as well. We're seeing the center cipher not being popped here. So this is something that Heshen is capitalizing on. This potentially could be the gateway for him to get that 4K and prevent a point difference for his team here. So Archer is decoding a 5th cipher here, but now all the ciphers are actually quite close to the end.
Very close, but you have to remember everyone is just one hit away except for Archer, right? And now Skyfall's gonna fall. My God, that was so fast. The decision, the experience, the skill, the dexterity coming in, and now Skyfall will finally be on the chair. Little Boy trying to finish it, but you gotta be careful. Look, Heshen knows exactly where everyone is. And Normal to seal the deal.
My goodness, putting a situation into a more dire one for the survivors as they can't even pop the center one. The other two is almost close to being done here as we see Naru will be coming in for the rescue. Does have 3 arrows to work with, so let's see if there's gonna be any of help here as we see Little Boy might be the one in the center. A little tricky there as we see Heshen a little bit lost, can't seem to find where Little Boy is. He will survive for a little while more, and the mind game at the pallet will help him survive as well. Heshen, can he get the hit at the end of the stick here? This is
He
all
missed a little bit. Yeah, very unfortunate. But in the end, he still managed to get it, right? And this is crazy. The reason why he allows this free rescue to happen is because... Oh, he missed. Unfortunately, Neru! My goodness, he needs to put him down ASAP. Everyone's... well, at least they got themselves healed up, right? So, Little Boy did buy a little bit more time. But you gotta be really careful because with the cage, look at how fast he's hitting everyone! I don't know. By the time that everything's done, I think for the next 20 seconds, another abnormal is gonna happen. Heshen is really pushing the limits right here up against GH survivors.
Yeah, and we're seeing them trying to kite out the cage. Does have resentment to work with, but the Terror Shock connects as well. We see a little bit of hesitation coming in from Naru. Wanted to play a little bit of the mind game, but Heshen does not want any of that. As we see the last cipher, the center cipher will be stagnant. They're opening a 6th cipher instead. Things are looking very bad for GH survivors, and they need to stop the snowball from happening with Heshen as he double abnormals the center cipher.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Even if the first officer, Skyfall, manages to finish the 4th cipher, he knows that he can rotate between these 2 ciphers because those are the 2 ciphers with progress, right? So this is a very dangerous thing that's going to happen here simply because the 2 ciphers are so close to each other, and this is going to give the advantage to Heshen. With the cage, you will always be caught off guard, especially if you don't pay attention to. With max resentment as well, this is going to be something really dangerous to work with.
Oh my goodness.
Goatman, Heshen the goat. That's gonna allow Skyfall to rescue, but at this point, he's also doing the exact same thing as Momoka, which is drain them out of their resources, make sure everyone sits on the chair. Just constantly cipher controlling using his abnormal at this point.
Yeah, and this time around is 2 middle ciphers you mentioned already. Up and down, the cages with the surprise factor as well. Naru trying to kite out the hunter here, but the arrows really doesn't do much. The distance was too short. True. Nothing can really stop Heshen now as we see him dominating this matchup here. Cyphers is being pushed at the center, we're seeing that happening, but is that really the solution to this? What can GH do here?
they're pushing the ciphers no matter what. This is very scary. I feel like this is the only thing they can do, which is... Oh, wait, what? Okay, a little bit of mind games going on there, but Skyfall's going down right here, and Magician trying to pop the cipher, but Skyfall can be chaired at the moment, so it doesn't really matter. He knows where Little Boy is. So right now, the only job that Little Boy has is to hide as long as... Oh, wait a minute. He's riding the tram. He's not hiding it out. He's riding the tram. He knows. Oh no, Heshen knows. Heshen knows. He knows where he is. Yeah.
And forces him out of the tram as well, it seems. And Little Boy will try to cut out in this area. It's very tight. No items to work with. No flywheel as well. Heshen. He is putting GH in a stalemate situation here. And Little Boy... This is just very tough as we see the down onto the survivor. They will surrender.
Which solidifies what Kuro said, that Chocho's the old survivor side. I feel like Heshen...
Great Church and AR Hunter will be coming up first. So Heshen more, but maybe Heshen is going to show us a different side. Yeah.
Right, and push them out. Okay, so his positioning is Heshen will be able to make Hullabaloo work in this game.
Into first half of this matchup, GH Survivors versus AR Hunter Heshen. As we see him hitting straight for Skyfall here. Skyfall is on the Gravekeeper, so does have a lot of items to work with. So Heshen, not too sure whether this is gonna be the best choice for him. As you see, the double surprise being placed already and White Bomb activated.
Not really sure what's the idea chasing after a rescuer first. Skyfall is also very, very stable. Even if he's not rescuing, he also has a stable kite, right? So not sure what the idea is. Pretty sure there's other targets to pick, but I feel like maybe that's why he's like thinking, yeah, this probably waste the resources. Make sure that there's no Gravekeeper in the late game with shovels. And let's see if this plan works out at the moment. One more red is gonna secure it, but then he needs to start building more stacks. Oh my god, that was very, very fast. Trapeze unlocked right here. Let's see if that's gonna be enough. A peeper as well. Skyfall needs to rotate away. Little Boy's in the vicinity as well, so let's see if Little Boy's gonna help out a little bit. Nah, he doesn't really care. He's just there. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna continue decoding. I know you're set on Skyfall. But already, Skyfall utilizing the second shovel, and 3 ciphers are really, really fast at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of things expanded from Skyfall. He will see the down now as we see the cipher progress pretty good. 2.5 ciphers, almost going to 3. Gravekeeper has no items to work with anymore, and we do have one other Tide Turner that is available, and it's a Puppeteer, having the wanted order as well. Things cannot be more unfortunate for GH as we see Little Boy still trying to commit and come in for the rescue. This is gonna be very tough for him as we see another white one. Double surprise coming in as well would suffice. You see a terror shot through, but the rescue happens as luckily the Little Boy was there. A double down situation as well now. Things is looking difficult as you see Naru also coming in potentially for the support.
My goodness, even though, and that's the beauty of having a Puppeteer, right? But you gotta remember, it's a Hullabaloo that has no attack recovery, right? So here, he's just trying to make sure he falls towards where the sky is. And let's see if that's gonna be enough. That's not gonna be enough. Naru a little bit hesitant. He was not close enough to ensure the attraction happened. So right now, oh my god, Puppeteer has been brought up. Okay, Puppeteer has been brought up. But right now they do have 2 full ciphers to work with, and Naru has no Tide Turner. So you're gonna wonder if that's gonna be enough.
Oh no!
Oh my god, Teresa! Why through the window? Why through the window?
GH, my goodness, a double terror shot coming in, and this I don't even think I'm not even sure whether it was an opportunity given by a survivors or is it Heshen creating those opportunities for himself, a gateway to get another 4K for Team AR. As we see GHIX coming in for a rescue. GHIX is a doctor, doesn't have many bottles to work with. Another flip in.
Oh my god.
Trying to get away from this rescue. A hit already registering through. Can he make it? Another terror shot.
No, it's not gonna happen this time. But he's gonna go for GHIX this time. He doesn't really care about Naru anymore. Everyone's injured. GHIX is the only doctor here, right? So everyone's injured. My goodness, this is the best possible scenario for Heshen.
Yeah, and even forcing out a flywheel from Naru. Naru is still trying to come in for the support, but I don't think this would be enough. as we see him now in danger. Excitement goes through and the hit registers as well.
Did you forget?
Down situation now. Little boy is also injured. Cyphers can be popped for the fourth one, but the fifth one is stagnant at 30%. All of them are falling down like flies. Terror shock happening left and right. Now, what is the focus point for GHR? Is this the stalemate situation that Heshen is looking for?
No, I think it's a little bit too late to do anything at this point. Heshen can go for the 4K here. He knows exactly where it is. Thanks to the double surprise, he knows the direction. He's just trying to hide out and buy a little bit more time. But honestly, look at this situation. 2 survivors down. And Puppeteer's the last one standing. Insane. This is such an insane situation. You gotta wonder what would have happened if FT actually had Heshen in the lineup. But you know what? Right now, GH survivors have no answer for Heshen's onslaught. Little boy probably still trying to go for that basement, but no! Little things went south. He was baiting. It was basically a honey trap waiting.
Oh, why is he going for the Gravekeeper? There's so many other better options.
Right? Can still work, but here's the reason why we are skeptical, right? Chocho and I were at a certain position and couldn't progress forward. Like the moment you start with no borrowed time. So this is like a full kiting. Yeah, we just want to get.
Let's see if Momoka have what it takes to get that 4K and balance things out for Team GH here, as we see him heading straight for the center area. Follower will be following along her, so through the center, but as of now, still unable to spot anybody. Does have a chance being propped up here, heading towards the red carpet, seeing Meowpai. Now we need to know Lucky Guy does have a full kiting wheel and decides to cancel out. And
he actually got it.
Yeah, he got it. I thought he stopped it.
He has a perfume. Best case scenario, especially against a follower, against a Dream Witch, right? Oh, that's gonna be the little nasty doggo. Oh, okay, all right.
We see the Lich being stopped there by Meowpai, so a good detail coming in from Meowpai, using the ball immediately so that he gets a distance, doesn't get that free hit. Now let's see if he's able to pick up. It seems like the hit will still... Oh, the perfume as well. He did see that. Lucky Guy does have that. And what a game coming in from Momoka as well. Meowpai survives the first patroller.
Beautifully done, but there's a follower following as well. So that's why the pallet was instantly broken, right? I love the idea of having this. Meowpai has utilized all of his equipments, right? But what this helps is at least he's able to do it without the help of his teammates. So right now, Meowpai just trying to stay ahead of the game. Just make sure that he's in, near the window. Just making sure that he's around. Look at Momoka, and this is why it's really difficult to navigate the followers here. You know what I mean? But the second patroller should do the trick. Should do here, yep. Yeah, okay.
Getting that bite, should be able to get that hit regardless, whichever Meowpai decides to do. And yeah, gets the extra presence as well with that Terror Shock. As we look into the ciphers, pretty good at almost like combined 3 ciphers almost. And yeah, being chat here, Joker should be able to pop his cipher. So sorry, Joker is only at the 60% cipher, so yeah, a little bit of a tricky situation as you see the dungeon being spawned at the top broken area.
Wow, yeah, that's true. Meowpai definitely did a very respectable kite, right? Like, I agree with you, 2.5 ciphers right there. But the danger's not out yet. It's 2 minutes already. Usually at this time, there's already 3 ciphers being decoded, but because they were making way for him. Okay, 1 pad trying to come in for that rescue. Okay, Meowpai still has that leech following him, but no, he's gonna give that free hit. Joker's gonna give that free hit to Momoka. He's like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take that injury. I'm gonna decode. But I'm not sure if that's the best case scenario. Oh no! Wow, going for PP actually. He knows that the leeches are still up on Meowpai, so he doesn't really care. But right now, you gotta be really careful. Against a Dream Witch, you do not want too many survivors injured and leeched.
Yeah, we're seeing Momoka actually doing a great job trying to map control and also trying to control all the where the ciphers are located, because if we look into the ciphers, I think he's trying to get all the ciphers to be at one side of the map, so it's easier for him to map control in the later parts of this round. So we're seeing ciphers being worked on. PP, somebody has come and rescue, which is Yuki. Yuki will be coming in. All of them are now injured, and a lot of leeches could be potentially very dangerous for the survivors.
That's true. They did not really take the time to remove leeches nor heal, and it's very difficult, right? Especially since this map is kind of small, right? This map is really small, and Momoka is just constantly making sure that everyone's injured. And now the ciphers are finally coming to a stop. No one is able to. Yeah, I mean, no one can decode. They gotta stop and heal up. And that's happening right now at the red carpet. Momoka, whether or not he knows this, well, he's still trying to move around, trying to find that next target.
Yeah, as we see, Lucky Guy will be healed
Blink.
up. Mercenary will get that hit with that lich, and Momoka is forced to use his main body to hit over there just to get that chair. As we see, the 4th Cypher is being worked on at 80% right now, and Coordinator Yuki is working on a 40% Cypher. So if things goes as planned, we should be seeing a 4-man endgame situation.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a very good situation, right, in order to play for the late game. But Momoka is still very dangerous on that Dream Wish, especially. The good news is, although they have 2 of the survivors at half health, 1 survivor going to be cheered very soon, there's only 1 leech right now. And the leech is still on cooldown. So Momoka's gotta make sure he spreads the leech followers a little bit further, keep 1 nearby just to help stuff the rescue that comes. But at the end of the day, yeah, that's the problem. You gotta wait until you can leash another person. Otherwise, look, the 4th Cypher is already at 75%. The 6th Cypher is already at 50%. So remember, guys, they only need 1 survivor out.
Yeah, 1 survivor is their goal here for this round. As we see, the last Cypher on standstill. All Cyphers are standstill right now. All of them are injured. We're seeing another item being used by the Acrobat. But luckily enough, at least a lot of them still have items for late game. So things are still not too bad. They're trying to find opportunities to delete, to heal each other. That's great. That's the kind of game that we should be seeing against the Dream Witch. Yuki trying to push one of that corner Cypher, but will she give the opportunity?
Yeah, I feel like they have to play very careful. This is an opportunity for them to get 1 over GH, right? And Momoka is definitely feeling the pressure now. He's playing flawlessly, right? He's making sure everyone gets leashed, everyone's injured, and finally downing Jokra as well. But here's the problem as well. You gotta move towards where Jokra is. You gotta make sure your cooldown is off, leech him, then bring him back up. But during all that period of time, that's where the survivors can continue decoding or heal each other and the leech. Prime the leech as well. So this is definitely a race against time, right? AR versus GH. Momoka so far, you gotta remember, it's not fine with just a draw. It's not fine with a 3k. You gotta get a 4k. And right now it seems like the survivors are having a really strong time. Okay. Alright.
Trying to go for the basement here, it seems. We'll get that hit, drop down hit. We'll get the basement, but this means that Cyphers are being really pushed.
Right? Jojo, I don't think they can just sell. You know what I mean? They don't even have borrowed time. They don't have borrowed time. They can just sell. They can just pop and then make sure everyone's... Oh, wait. If they pop, they won't even be at full health. Well, they are at full health now, but they already popped. They have the idea. So they really don't care about the person chat at the basement, because right now, he's the only person with the leech.
Yeah, open both gates, and what can Momoka even do here, right? Not enough leeches to work with. So this is the right gameplay coming in from AR survivors. They will at least guarantee a 1 escape, so no surprises there. But if they're able to get more points here, that would be even better, so that coming into the in the BO3, things will look a little bit easier for them. So
they already got it. 1 gate's already open. True.
1 gate's already open, so 1 escape
Get
at least guaranteed.
They're gonna try to go for the tie or a three man.
Doesn't have a football to work with, but Joe.
Oh my god!
Though.
I think he can. I think he can. Oh my god! I think he can. There's a gun as well.
Yuki has the gun. Yep. That's how you end this beautifully.
Oh my god! A 3-man escape
as well.
A 3-man escape against Momoka. Oh,
yep.
And they got the 3-man escape. I think it's a gift from the skies, honestly. Game in kiting, and late game in finding more items and allowing that. So I've
to come up first, and we'll be seeing AR's hunter, which is Heshen once.
Yeah, but Peddler, very good.
Peddler. I mean, just that's all he needs. As we see him, we'll be spawning at this area here. So for you guys as well, we're seeing a 3-6.
All right. Potentially the last game to decide the second representative for the global stage. Heshen on the Peddler, trying to look for that first survivor, already running towards the factory 4. GH, they gotta have 3 survivors out in order for them to allow Momoka to get that equalizer in the next half. But right now, it is a very, very hard thing to ask for. Oh wait, beautiful perfume right there. But Gonchi revealed himself. revealed himself at that point. And wow, got the
Fine
stun up as well. The last one as well. My goodness, that was the very first one. Very fast one.
Yeah.
Jojo.
A very fast one indeed. Was looking at the ciphers, it's not progressed a lot as we see him. We'll be using the obstacle absorption here just to close that distance. Doesn't want to waste time bolting as we see Heshen still gonna try to go for the ground as well. So he get that chip damage, unfortunately. Godji doesn't want the mind game here. He knows he can't do this as we see the invisible lady coming into action. And Heshen knows exactly how.
How? I'll tell you how. Hunter's instinct. Hunter's instinct going on. But good job though. Usually this trick will make any hunter fall for it, right? It's just that I don't know. I think it's just the hunter experience and instinct kicking in. But here you can see the escapologist already making his move, changing it into the factory. He wants to give that area for the Pharaoh Lady to kite. It is a very strong area after all. You can see Neru already in the vicinity. That's the aeroplanist we're talking about. Little boy is still decoding hard. Ciphers are almost 3, but this rescue is gonna matter a lot right here. Oh no! The jetpack away! Why? Why? Oh my god!
Alright, able to still get the rescue, so at least things is not looking that dire. If a double down situation happens here, I'm not sure how GH is gonna handle this. As we see Godji will be kiting away from the factory area, trying to give that cipher away for decoding. Heshen trying to lock ciphers as well, so Godji will be down here, but will they come in for the second rescue here? We do have escapologist with a Titana.
Beautifully done as well. Just trying to bring him back towards where the cipher is. So Neru, you gotta be really careful, brother, because right here you only have half health left. You have 2 jetpacks to work with and the wanted order as well. So right now the thing is you cannot afford just a draw. Oh wait, the chair has been moved away. Beautiful. Goes in for that
smoke screen.
smoke
Coming
screen.
in just
Okay.
to confuse Heshen. Seems like it's working a little bit, causing Heshen to be a little bit tight here, trying to predict, but unfortunately the rescue still happens. Heshen gets off the smoke screen. Godji, they're trying to go for a body block, but this is gonna look very difficult. The ground absorption also happening here, but nothing happens. Pharaoh Lady uses her last item here, another smoke screen being used here just for the support. Now, this is looking at a very sticky situation. Nothing Heshen can really do here. Maybe obstacle absorption here will happen, but the body block is just making it so difficult. Godji is in the open, in the ground. A split second hit. Prisoner coming over the spot.
Alright. What? Oh wait! I thought the body block went through, but the magical hitbox. Yeah, they got no choice. They gotta do this, and the reason is because they need a 3-man survivor out. If they don't help the Pharaoh Lady here, it's very possible that they're gonna end up in the tie, and that's gonna end it. That's gonna end it. There won't be a second half. So right now, and Peddler, it's very possible. Peddler is like the new disciple, right? Very possible to get a draw at this point. But right now, they have the impossible task of getting 3 men out, and the Cypher's not even prime yet, Chocho. So AR is in a very good position.
Good position, you're right. And for GHD, the chip damage did not happen here. Little boy will be down here. All of them are injured. On the bright side, escapologist does have a needle, but he is the one working on the cipher. So I guess Neru would have to levitate and come in for the rescue. That is their best bet here, and try to get a 3 escape somehow, because the tie will not suffice here anymore. As we see Heshen trying to find where the survivor is, does have a tinnitus being propped up here. The last cipher is at 50% ongoing, but really slow. Neru just gonna wait it out until the cipher is primed.
Insane. They're gonna crop. Everyone has borrowed time, right? So that's a good thing. But they're gonna do an after half rescue. I don't think the cipher's gonna be enough any point at that time, because even if you manage to do the rescue, you gotta remember, you gotta make sure that you rotate properly and help little boy to escape, right? And wish somehow that Heshen does not chair anyone. Because once he chairs the person, as soon as Cypher's prime, that's it, it's over. Wait a minute, wait, what?
Ooh.
Okay, free rescue right there. Okay, doesn't
Cypher is
really matter. Let's see if it's gonna allow. Prisoner has no items to help, right? But there's a pallet working there. Could have went with the pallet boost as well, but it's okay.
Oh, the vine trap. Oh, okay, just closing the distance. Obstacle absorption coming through. Little boy is still here. As we
Wow.
see, I think the gate is being locked right now. I'm not too sure, but little boy able to electric, but he can't get to
Oh, the
Znian.
blink!
Heshen.
Oh, wait. Oh my god. The gate was already open. Yeah, if only it lasted like 2 more seconds, they would have been able to make it.
Heshen.
This
AR,
Heshen,
but Heshen.
AR but
AR.
Heshen, really, seriously, resulted in a stalemate, right? But ultimately, they did pull through. GG, well.
Yeah, I think this might be one of the more intense with one of the members of AR. So you guys, whatever questions or interests,
Celebrate together as we congratulate the finals. A draw at game number 3 is gonna do it.
so I think it's gonna be okay.
RT from Thailand and AR